Released in 2018, summer of '84 is equal parts Fright Night, plus The Goonies, plus any other '80s movie that involves young kids and BMXs. It's a brilliant depiction of suburban evil and of innocence understanding what's out there in the real world, and in some cases, what's just next door.
Preferred targets appear to be males aged 12 to 16.
It's a serial killer.
I first seen this film when it came out a few years ago, directed by RKSS, a trio of Canadian filmmakers. This blew me away when it came out. I absolutely loved everything about it. And it wasn't really just about the nostalgic factor. Yes, there's nostalgia there, but this came out around about the same time as Stranger Things, so it sort of fell by the wayside. And I know everyone got wrapped up in the nostalgia of Stranger Things, myself included. You know, as I've mentioned, the kids on BMXs and strange sort of supernatural happenings. Now, the main story of the film, it revolves a group of kids. One particular kid is the main focus, but it's like a group of kids, the core group of 80s kids. And there's a serial killer in their town. Now, slowly as the plot goes on, the main kid in the story, he starts to suspect his neighbour because there's sort of strange things that are going on. The kids play their games at night. It's kind of like a hide and seek sort of situation. But more and more clues start pointing toward the neighbour. But if you haven't seen it, a bit of a spoiler. But the neighbour's a policeman. So it's always that old story, which is a clever thing in the script itself, where everyone at that time, maybe not so much now, but trusted the police. So they would never ever think it's going to be a policeman, especially a neighbour who's a policeman. It's brilliantly acted. The script is fantastic, and what they really do is set the mood and the tone. There's genuine tension in the scenes, and there's also genuine horror, but also genuine moments of levity. All the young cast are fantastic. I think they really, really play their parts well. I always say really, really, need to get around that. And there's not really a weak link amongst the whole cast. There's one particular kid that really, really looks like, is it Martha Plimpton from The Goonies? She really looks like him. I'm not really sure, or pardon me, he looks like her. I'm not sure if they're related or what the situation is there, but all the cast are great. And the film is brilliantly paced, even to the point that it does throw you off, even though the kids are seeing all of these clues where you're thinking, it's definitely the cop. You get to points in the film where you think, oh, maybe it isn't the cop, and the kids are sort of over-exaggerating here. Those comparisons at the top of the video that I mentioned with the Goonies, those are obvious comparisons, but it really, really hit home to me how much like Fright Night this film is. And I think the directors would probably be the first to admit it. The whole Charlie Jerry Dandridge rear window thing where he's spying on him, I mean, that really becomes apparent in this film as well. When they're spying on the cop, it really reminded me of Fright Night. It has that 80s sheen to it, I mean, purposely, because it's set in that period, that time period. But the sort of back and forth between the young kid and the cop, when they get to that point of them meeting up, there's genuine tension there. There's genuine tension involved in the scene specifically, almost where you're thinking, this cop knows the kid's on to him. But he plays it in such a way that you're just never really sure yourself. Staying on that, Rich Sommer, who plays the cop, the serial killer in question, he delivers an absolutely brilliant performance. Every time he's on screen, it's what makes you think maybe he didn't do it, because he's so convincing at being decent. And he's always got convincing answers and excuses, despite the clues that we have seen. Your mind starts to act like, oh, maybe they're just innocent situations and the kids have active imaginations. I mean, I know the kids are obviously sort of conspiracy theorists, and the main sort of kid himself, he's got like, you know, all those fucked up magazines like World Weekly News and things like that, where like UFO conspiracies and serial killer conspiracies. But yeah, Rich Sommer is excellent in this film. Again, as I've mentioned, they all are. So if you have ever seen this, you'll be able to pick it up quite cheap. Yeah, you know, it's come out a couple of years ago. I bought even the limited edition DVD, and it was quite cheap at the time. So you'll definitely be able to pick it up where it's on Amazon or Apple TV or whatever it happens to be. It might even be on Shudder. I'm not sure what streaming services it's on, but if you do get a chance, it's highly recommended. It's a thoroughly funny film, but also very tense and at times scary film that is never afraid to take brave and bold choices. It's the summer of '84. Just a short one today. Some of the videos have been quite long, but I definitely recommend checking it out. I'm stuck here up in the yards because the kids are off for midterm break, and at least the weather's calmed down, so it's not as absolutely fucking ball freezing as it has been. So hopefully be able to get a few more reviews up for you. Please like and subscribe. Again, I have noticed the views jumping up, which is great. I really appreciate it, and hopefully we can bring more hidden gems, a few more retrospective discussions, and obviously reviews on anything new that's worthwhile reviewing, or even maybe not worthwhile reviewing. Look at it, you Wolfman. Cheers.
Even serial killers live next door to somebody.
The summer of 2018. Ah, fuck. It's brilliantly directed, and it perfectly depicts suburban evil and the innocence of youth understanding what's really out there. Fuck. So if you've ever seen it and thought, oh, summer of '84, suburban neighborhoods that have closed doors, lovely garden, for fuck's sake, it's just next door. I think it's something that we should really just, for fuck's sake. I seen this film when it came out, and I absolutely loved it. The director's the RKASS team. Fuck me, that's real hard to say.